Hey, this is Ashibah, and you're watching Play EDM Live.
Salve, salve galera da Play, estamos aqui na Laroc com quem? Ashibah, veio direto da Dinamarca aí pra tocar. Estamos esperando aqui o set dela, vai ser sensacional, vamos conversar um pouquinho com ela. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
All right, thanks. First, it's like so cool to have you here, so honored to like talk to you. The first thing we want to know is you are a complete artist. You are a DJ, a producer, a songwriter, and a vocalist as well. Like you sing, that's amazing for us. Like, tell us, how did you get to this? Like, how did that happen?
Well, thank you for saying me. I'm an all kind of artist. That's great. That's a huge compliment. Well, it started with I've been singing since I was a child. I wrote my first song at the age around 7.
Whoa.
And then it's sort of the ball rolled from there, and I started getting interested in music, and then I started DJing, and then from there I started producing and songwriting, and then I combined it all sort of in my sets together.
Nice.
So it's been like developing since I was a kid, but it's like I've always been curious, and I'm a perfectionist, so it's like I want to pretty much do everything. so it sort of happened since I was a kid and just moved up, and then it sort of all came together.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We also know that you are like the official DJ for a Head Candy brand. Like, how did that happen? Because it's like a huge house music, electronic music brand in the world. So how did that happen?
Well, Hit Candy's been around for a long time. It's with Ministry of Sound, and I've always loved it. I used to listen to it when I was younger, and I got approached by them because they felt like I represented really what the brand was: female DJ, artist, and singer, and everything. And they asked me if I wanted to be part of the team, and I was like, of course, I would love to. So yeah, it's sort of like that. Yeah.
Awesome, because it's like it's such a good brand, as you said. And it's so long they are being in the market.
Yeah.
It's really cool. The other thing we always asking girls on the scene is like, how did you feel that? Because even though today the scene is changing and a lot of girls are into electronic music, but it's still, do you think there's like a prejudice over women, or do you think this is like over now? Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, in general, as a DJ or in this kind of industry, it's always been a male-dominated industry. So as a woman, you have to work that much harder to sort of get the same respect. And I think it's definitely changing. It's been changing for a while, but it's also because we have so many talented women in the industry. You have like people like Maya Jane Coles, you have Nina Kravitz, you have these kind of people that then make it possible. They can play with the big boys, but there's always going to be, I think, a little bit of a prejudice. But that's more about, I think, other DJs that get insecure that females are just as good as them. I don't know, but I think there's always going to be sort of a prejudice. There's always going to be like that. But I definitely think that it's changing or a lot, and it's because there's so many women that are talented and take their shit seriously, and they really. But you do have to work double as hard because you have to prove something. You always have to prove something. But
also, we know you came here to Brazil to tour so many times. I think you like fell in love with our country. Like, tell us about that.
Well, first of all, this is like my favorite place to come play. It's the crowd here. Well, first of all, the country is the most stunning and beautiful country I've ever been to. The people here, there's like rhythm in the entire country. There's warmth, there's kindness, and the scene here is amazing. So every time I get asked to come back, I'm like, when's my ticket? So yeah, I love it here. I love the crowd, I love the vibe, I love the country.
The last one is you made already a collab with Vintage Culture, like singing to one of his songs. Like, a couple of them. Like, how did you feel about that? Like, because Vintage is really famous here in Brazil right now, and like, how is to work with him, and how did you get to work with him? How was that?
Well, actually, I love him. He's a sweetheart, and he's talented, very talented. And he actually approached me, he wrote me a while ago. That was when we did Circles, and I was doing some stuff with Colombo that he really liked. And he was like, hey, I'm a big fan. I would love to do a track with you, and I think your voice is great. And would you like to write something on this track? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And I heard some of his stuff, and I was like, this kid's good. There's this talent there. And so he sent me the track, and I wrote Circles, and I sent it back, and he was like, I love it. And well, it's a huge hit here, so that's great. And then he sent me a couple of and then just the ball rolled sort of from there, and then we did Sure Thing, and now we did Too Slow, and we're gonna work for sure together more and more. I love working with him, and he's a sweetheart, and it's great. It's great to work with a lot of Brazilian talent. You guys got a lot of talent in this country, I gotta say.
Thank you. That's good, guys. Beleza, galera, acabamos de conversar aqui com a Ashibah. Muito obrigado por assistir a gente. Thank you again for the time.
Thank you.
And você está assistindo a EDM Live. Valeu.